How has American society defined change over the years? Change can often be thought of as a passing from one phase to another. When we think of change, we think of it as a positive thing. Some examples are traveling, going off to college, or buying the newest technological device, such as the new iPhone or computer. By tending to view change as progress and inherent growth, we often ignore its negative aspects. The popular rhetoric doesn't examine how change can impact someone's life forever, either positively or negatively. Today, I'm going to be taking a different approach on change and explain the positive and negative effects it's had on me. Change is something that everyone experiences every day. Whether it leaves a positive or negative effect on a person, it's a part of life. There have been many positive moments of change in my lifetime. A few examples are when my sister transferred from SMU to ASU after her sophomore year, when my grandma moved from Tucson to right next door to me my 8th grade year, and when I moved into my house where I would spend 10 years of my childhood when I was 6 years old. All of these changes in my life brought my family together, creating a stronger bond between us. However, although much of my life has been defined by positive change, it has also been marked by tragic, life-changing events. It was October 26, 2012, a Friday morning, just like any other. However, little did I know, I would receive unforeseen, dreadful news. Just like any other school day, I hear the annoying sound of my iPhone's alarm ring at precisely 6:30 a.m. I followed my same morning routine, got up, opened my closet, grabbed some clothes, hopped in the shower, and ate some breakfast. I heard the 3 rings of my microwave letting me know that my breakfast burrito was ready. I sat down and my mom's phone was on the counter. I was alone in the kitchen. I was just zoning out and looking at the detailed cracks and lines in the kitchen counter. Suddenly, a loud, distinct iPhone ring interrupted me. I looked to my left and my mom's phone was lit up with a text on the home screen from her best friend saying, "Let me know when you get the results back from the CAT scan ASAP." It doesn't matter if you are entirely the antithesis of nosy. Anyone that sees a text message on a loved one's phone will open it and read the conversation. As I was reading, I saw a text saying, "Could be lung cancer, not good. Very worried, not telling kids yet till we have more information. And he needs a biopsy, not doing well." I did not know what to think. I kept scrolling down to see who they were even talking about, even though I knew it was about him. I didn't want to believe it was about my dad. Although trying to stay positive, this was the day that changed my life from being perfect to not perfect at all. After the weekend passed, my dad was checked into St. Joe's Hospital in Phoenix on Sunday afternoon. The following Tuesday, October 30th, was a big day for all of us. He was going to the endoscopy department so that the doctors could do a bronchoscopy with a biopsy to find out what exactly was going on. Just like in the movies, we waited for hours for the results. The doctor came back with a look on his face. We all knew the news was not good. He said that he had stage 4 adenocarcinoma of the lung. The cancer was inoperable due to the fact that the tumor was wrapped around a major artery of the posterior vena cava, which was restricting blood flow to the heart and brain. The doctor's exact words were, "We are very sorry, but Barry is gravely ill." Those words still haunt me to this day. Looking back, the next 2 weeks were a blur. I truly felt like I was on a roller coaster. One day my dad would be better and there was a glimmer of hope, and the next day we would be informed of his sudden and rapid decline. November 12, 2012 was a day I will never forget. My mom went to the hospital early to see the doctors to determine if a tracheotomy would be planned. Dr. Feldman, the pulmonologist, who would be performing the surgery, was not optimistic concerning my dad's survival. He asked my mom to call the kids in for a family meeting. I arrived at the hospital and went straight to the ICU, room 25. My mom and sister were waiting there for me. Dr. Feldman took us into the conference room and shut the door. I'm very sorry to have to be telling you this. However, we have tried everything we could possibly do, and we think from the condition he is in now, if we continue, he will be in an uncomfortable state. I will not make the decision for you, but I personally would not want to see my family members suffer. Those are the words that Dr. Feldman told us in the morning of November 12th. The conversation went on for almost 30 minutes. However, I do not remember anything after that due to a stress reaction that put me into shock. I lifted my head up and noticed my sister and mom were not in the room anymore. It was just my dad's lifelong business partner and best friend, Will Rogers, and I. I told him that I wanted to see my dad. I left the conference room and went straight down to the hall to see my dad. My sister and mom were holding his hand. My dad still had the breathing tube connected to him, however the nurse came to tell she needed to take it out. This was the moment I am never going to forget. My mom, my sister, and I all watched my dad take his last breath. So this so-called change that society views as positively affecting our lives has made our family of 4 go down to 3. But as Gail Sheely said, if we don't change, we don't grow. And if we don't grow, we aren't really living. This alarming, dreadful, and horrible time in my life has made not only me, but my mom and my sister grow in a way that no other event could accomplish. However, it has also taught us how to deal with adverse changes that we can't predict. There are 2 ways to deal with these types of setbacks in life. 1, go down a path of destruction and live a miserable life filled with sorrow and unhappiness. Or 2, change that setback into a motivation to become successful. Personally, I chose option 2. I recently took up real estate to follow my dad's entrepreneurial footsteps and have been attending Arizona School of Real Estate and Business to complete my 90 hours of classes before I turn 18. My motivation for this was how I responded to the drastic changes I faced. Changing from one phase to another is extremely difficult. However, it can have positive aspects that can be uncovered if we want them to be. For example, my mom, sister, and I have become closer than we ever have in the past. As a family, we all handled the drastic change differently, but in the end, we came together and have formed an incredible bond which will last forever. Thank you.